Well, hello my fellow car modelers, how you doing today? I thought I'd do a little update here on the GMC Jimmy build. This is a group build with my local club, the Model Car Mafia, Phoenix, Arizona, and we have till August to finish it, but I'm also in a little bit of a challenge. We talked about this in the past. I talked about this truck. Doing a little kind of grudge match with my old buddy Chuck from Chuck's Hobby Spot. As BG likes to call them, our Chucky Busters. So I'm going after Chuck with this one. So I finally figured out what I'm going to do. So let's take a look at it. I kind of changed my mind from the last video I showed you. You remember in that last video when I talked about this kit that I was going to go for an off-road race truck, and I was going to use the phenomenal trophy truck chassis from Iceman Collections. And as wonderful of an idea like that, I found it was going to be a lot of cutting and moving and all this stuff. And then I kind of thought, well, if I'm going to do it, maybe I'll just do a scratch-built chassis, all that. Well, I ended up, you know what, I'm not going to do an off-road truck with this, not off-road race trophy truck type thing or Baja 1000 thing. I decided I wanted to kind of pursue an idea I had many years ago with many different cars. I had different ideas, but I always wanted to build a Pikes Peak race car from back in the day before Pikes Peak was paved. And this is going to be it. So I'm pretty much just going to be using the body, but I'll show you some ideas I kind of been brewing together. Let's just take the body, and this is my plan. I want to do something. I'm going to go really crazy with this one, and I hope to take it to Atlanta next year, because I don't know if this is going to be considered part of the theme, but the theme is Mustangs and pickup trucks. I don't know if they're going to let me squeak in the pickup truck. If not, not a big deal, but that's what I'm shooting for. I'm going to try to build at that. I'm not going to say I'm going to try. I am going to build at that level that you see at Acme. It's time for me to bust out the old guns and do that again. And Chucky's really fueling me. He's like, come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And okay, I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to show the man what I can bring to the table. So we've got some big plans with this. But where we're going with this is, like I said, this is a race vehicle that would run the Pikes Peak run back when it was all dirt road going up there. I loved it back in those days. It's very cool today, but back in those days, they would have these exotic road race type cars. There was all kinds of race cars that would run, and they take. There was just so many different classes, so many crazy things you'd see. But the neat thing was that they all had to have like knobby off-road tires, and I love the idea of having a race car instead of racing slicks, the off-road tires, but it's not like a Baja vehicle. And one very popular way of building a chassis for a vehicle like this was something that was very close to either a stock car race car, like a late model type stock car, dirt car, or an IMSA type chassis or a Trans Am chassis. So this body, and then I pulled out, I have this kit right here. I thought I'm gonna go for doing this. Now this one has a missing body, so this is the chassis I'm gonna do. But I had another one of these and I pulled the body out and I did my little test. So I took the Trans Am Camaro body here and I did my little test. Wheel wells line up really good. Look at that. And they're exactly the same width. So I could fit this chassis into this truck almost without modifications almost. So looking at the instructions here, just taking a quick peek of how this chassis goes. There's a bottom plate, very similar to our NASCARs we have today. These Trans Am cars were a lot like what they're racing, similar to what they're racing today in NASCAR with the next gen car. So we're dealing with a flat bottom, and that could really work out very well. The flat bottom, and we'll take one side, and I'm gonna have to start doing some cutting on this body to really get things to fit. But one thing I found is we take this chassis plate, and this is gonna fit without any cutting or anything. It fits right into this body. How cool is that? I'm going to do some changes and cleanups and all that, of course, but this right here is kind of a bummer. Look at all the sinking from the detail of the bottom part of the chassis. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just use this as a plate, do all my work, but I think I'm going to lay panels down to cover all that up. I don't know yet how I'm going to do that, but we will get rid of all that. That's going to be too much to sand, and then we lose some detail. So I might as well just cover it all up, because it was really cool. Look at all them Zeus fasteners. Can you see those? It's too bad we can't utilize those, but who knows how we'll do it. Maybe I'll follow that pattern to know where the panels are, and we'll put Zeus fasteners. You know, there's aftermarket ones. Now here is the side, the driver's side of the whole roll bar, the whole from the front to the tail of the chassis, and I can kind of get it up in there before, because I got to cut all this out. We'll get to that later, but it looks like that this will fit up in there if you just kind of go like this. Look at that. That's going to fit pretty cool in this. You can see how it is. It's going to fit pretty cool in this truck. I'm probably going to whack all these bars off and make my own bars. I'm definitely going to do that to kind of follow more the pattern and shape of this truck. And I'm going to use the roof. But I got to say, this wasn't just an idea that I just popped into my head, or I came up this kind of a thing of a race car to build. I was inspired by an actual real race truck that ran back in the later days of the dirt track, and when they eventually started paving the racetrack, this truck evolved over time into racing asphalt. And it was Leonard Vauchel's Bronxzilla. It was a Bronco, a Ford Bronco, and it was a total race truck. Total race car, chassis, full tube chassis, with just a Bronco body on it. That's basically what I'm going to do with that. I'm taking a lot of hints and hues from Leonard's cars. He used to use a lot of ex-stock car chassis and a lot of type of construction like that. They were very similar there, and a lot like, you know, your dirt track late models and stuff like that. I'm going to take a lot of those ideas from his way of he built the truck. Over time, that Bronxzilla, I've seen a couple pictures with some of the body panels off, and it did look a lot like the chassis that they ran in Trans Am back in these days. Very, very similar. So I think this is going to get us the look we want. I'm really, really excited about this. But I'm also planning on, this is just the basis, I want to get really crazy with my suspension work. I'm going to have everything, I'm going to kind of fabricate a lot of my A-arms, and I want to put some real looking, you know, get these plastic ones off and get some real looking coilovers. And I got to take all this off and put the real thing on this, you know, real detail on, and make it not molded on, but looking like the real thing. So we're going to do a lot of work to this chassis. It's going to be really, really crazy. It's going to be a crazy looking vehicle, and I've got a neat idea for a paint job. I'm not going to reveal that yet, but well, I will say this. It's going to be green. I don't know, you know, every time that this Jimmy pops into my head when we started talking about it with the club, I just pictured it going to be green, I guess because of the box art. Because it's green on the box art, so I just feel like I gotta do this do this thing green. So it's going to be something, but it's going to be a really, really wicked paint job. Really cool looking lettering and on it and all that. It's a race vehicle, so I got some really cool plans. One thing I will say is cutting up the body, I'm going to smooth a lot of this out. But one thing I'm going to do is I want to cut out these wheel wells right here, but I want to retain them. I want to raise these up a lot higher because this thing's going to be slammed down to the ground. Raise these up about much higher, and but still retain. I want to retain that stock appearance of these arches. Keep that look right there, but bring it up higher. That should be a challenge. That'll be very interesting. Don't know yet how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. So that is my plan. We're combining the old Hot Wheels Camaro Trans Am series chassis, and this was also used earlier on with the Fords, the Mustangs and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be going Trans Am style chassis, truck, really exotic, and I'm going to find some really cool off-road tires to put on this thing, but yet it's going to be slammed down and just going to be cool, something different. So that's it. I just want to bring that to you, let you know what we are concocting in our head. I got to get back on the USAC build and get that all done. We'll be doing a video on that here real soon. Now that I got a few other things out of the way, we're concentrating on the USAC build for the rest of time till we get it done. Hopefully I can get that USAC build finished. I won't be able to reveal it. We reveal that on January the 14th. I want to get on this. I want to get on this soon so I can really have the time to work it really cool, because I got a lot of crazy suspension stuff I'm planning on doing to this thing that's gonna make it really out of sight, man. So thanks for watching. I hope this inspired you to get out there and mess around with your models and do some building or starting a build, what the heck. And we'll see you in the next video. So, well, keep on building model cars. Why? Simple answer, because they're fun. Here's the producers.
Hello, Phoenix!